When I woke up this morning, I was feeling pretty dangerous.
Just fucking went right into the goddamn sea gas.
Disappearing act. Yes, tisk.
I'm gonna make her mine, bro. She loves the fro. I don't know what to tell you. You don't realize how hard it is for me to keep a straight face when I say dumb shit like that. Have to. Get him out! Get him out! Good run. Did you see his blocking? He did nothing good. There was nothing he did good.
That's all he was good at was blocking. You saw those lean, mean blocks?
Oh, shit. First of all, I said, and I was wrong, I thought there was no way he wouldn't make opening day roster because I knew Urban Meyer had a love affair with him. Now, here's the reason why. I didn't think Tebow would be any good at anything he was doing. I just figured he'd be on the team because Urban Meyer. But Urban cut him. And Urban come out. They had this whole press conference and they had a whole statement they made about what he meant for the locker room and stuff like that. It's such a joke. After the first preseason game, he got cut. He's just not good. Get rid of him. You don't need a statement.
So my audio was out there.
Great. No, I love it. That's
no. Hey, at least I noticed, 4 minutes in instead of 30 minutes in. Yeah. So my audio was out. They could hear you guys, so they know what we're talking about. Tim Tebow, was cut from the Jaguars today. But yeah, honestly, I'm surprised too that they didn't keep him just from a business standpoint. Because to me, he was never going to be, I don't want to say he was never going to be an impact player, but he was never going to be probably even their second or third tight end. I thought he would be special teams and probably have some packages in the offense, but I never once thought that he was going to be an impact player at tight end. So to me, the reason that you bring him in is, one, to hype up the Urban Meyer, Tim Tebow, Trevor Lawrence train. But two, also, I thought you get him for jersey sales. He's also a locker room guy. A lot of people like him in the locker room. So to me, that you brought him in for that reason, not necessarily to be a tight end. So I am surprised that he was cut, especially this early. I thought at least if they were going to cut him, they would wait a while. But how bad do you think people feel that bought all those Tebow jerseys?
Doesn't feel bad at all. You can't buy into that. He's an all name. That's all he is anymore.
Didn't he have like the best selling jersey right now or something?
His home and away jerseys sold more separately than any other jersey in the NFL for a short period of time.
That's insane.
That's what I'm saying. For that alone, I figured he probably would make the squad just because the revenue.
He wasn't even good enough to get his old number back from Minshew. There's no way he was going to be good enough to make the roster. I thought he would make the roster because him and Urban Meyer, but good.
I thought the one thing he'd be good at would be blocking, and that was the worst thing he was.
Oh, he was awful. At best, he was going to play special teams and then maybe a few packages, like Justin said, on offense, where it's no passing,
like a 3 or
it's like Derrick Henry in high school. Just hike the ball straight to him and run forward.
Exactly.
I could see him passing the ball. He's not the most talented passer, but I would probably expect that they had it.
I could see him doing like a Philly special.
Philly special.
But Tim was one of the worst passers in the game 10 years ago when he was actually a quarterback. That was a decade ago. Now, to ask him to throw the ball in anything other than what could be described as a gimmick would be a serious mistake.
I'm not saying that he would get even 10 passes all season long. I'm saying, like, I'm sure there was at least a play,
That's fair. No, that's fair. Absolutely.
It literally would have just been a secret weapon for one play a season. Just hoping nobody caught on and forgot about him.
Hey, but all you need is that one play, especially if you make it to the Super Bowl. So, not that the Jacksonville, I guess, is planning on doing that, though. Now I think about saying that, probably not going to make it to the Super Bowl anyways. So, I don't know.
Maybe it had to do something with taking the pressure off of Trevor Lawrence. Everybody focuses on Tim Tebow and kind of lets Trevor Lawrence sit back in the corner by himself and try and do his thing a little bit.
But still, you're cutting them preseason week 1. So, it's like, even if you're trying to do that, I think you cut them too early,
I mean, just for a little bit of acclimation. I don't know. I think it makes a little bit of logical sense. I agree, though. Give him at least until the next round of cuts. It's only 5 more guys.
Yeah, well, I mean, the first week of preseason, the roster only goes down from like 90 to 85 or like 5 or 3.
Yeah.
It's the last
and then the next one goes down to
80 to 53. So, I mean, I would have thought if he would have gotten cut, it would have been in that 30-man area.
Yeah.
But I will say, and this is one very good thing about him getting cut, imagine ESPN for 24 hours straight the first time Trevor Lawrence throws a ball to Tim Tebow. God forbid it be a touchdown. If Tim Tebow caught a 7-yard out route on 1st and 10, it would have been plastered all over every social media across every sports news organization for 24 hours, and it would have been the most annoying thing in all of football and probably in all of social media as well.
Oh, yeah, no doubt. Like, the hype behind Tim Tebow catching a touchdown, yeah, it would have been... I would not be surprised if that happened at the end of the year. The NFL put that in their top 100 plays. Like a nobody... Not nobody, excuse me. A third or fourth string tight end catching a touchdown in any other game does not make news, pretty much, I'd say. But because that's Tim Tebow, it would have been like the best thing that ever happened.
Oh, and imagine it being like on a play action boot, like the entire 11 guys on defense are going one way. Tebow just comes out the other side. Trevor throws him the ball. He's wide open. It's a touchdown. They're losing to Oakland by 3.5 touchdowns. It's the fourth quarter with 7 minutes to go, and ESPN wets itself from watching this video. It would be the most annoying thing in the world, and I'm glad it's not going to happen now.
It'd be like the MLB and their portrayal of Shohei and Mike Trout when it's like they show all these clips that are like highlights, but they're down 7 runs in the 8th inning,
Every time.
We would have got the NFL version of that.
Did you guys see that on the video game where dude was pitching the ball and then like it was a high pitch or something, the catcher goes to throw back at the pitcher and it knocks the pitcher down? It's hilarious.
On a
No.
video game?
MLB game, yeah.
Really?
And the
I ain't
kid's
seen
like
that.
on the ground, like writhing in pain. It's hilarious.
Oh, I'd be cracking up.
This is a little off topic here, but have you guys ever watched Blitzball or like?
Yeah.
All right, low key guys. When I come to Tennessee, can we get a Blitzball game going?
What's blitzball?
It's
like
kind
like-
football on steroids.
yeah. It looks pretty fun. Like the ball moves a lot more, and like you have the strike zone, so it's, it's pretty obvious
I
whether or
think
not
I've
the
seen a version of it. I don't know if it was blitzball, but some of them dudes they was pitching. Oh my goodness!
Now,
Yeah.
Good, yeah.
the ball itself is made out of like geometrical shapes, and it allows the airflow to push the ball like crazy. It moves left and right and up and down.
yeah.
It's different from a wiffle ball because it doesn't always have a downward trajectory, which a wiffle ball usually does. This thing can go anywhere, and it goes anywhere at a weird rate. But it's
Yeah.
actually kind of fun to watch if you're bored and you've seen every other video on YouTube already. But it's pretty neat, really.
I was watching a John Boy.
Oh,
I guess his office or something play it. Dude, one kid they called it a riser, I guess. So he threw it, it sinks, and then it comes back up. Dude, he threw that thing in the dirt, and it came back up and hit the top of the strike zone. Like, that is wild. Like,
It is.
we should totally do that. I'll buy the set. I don't care. We'll find about 10 people apiece or 10 people, 5 apiece for each team, I think.
We can do it in Lee's front yard. He's got plenty of room.
We can do it at Tensco. There's all those baseball
that's
fields
true.
there.
Yeah,
You're going to have to get a house close to us, Justin, because we're all within, like,
Yeah, I know.
5 from each other.
2 mile radius.
The well, I won't be that close, but the plan right now is my parents are gonna give me some land, and I'm gonna put a house on that. So I'll still be in the Dixon area. But that's the
where's the land at? Never mind. Don't go on the stream.
no. But it's where I don't know if you remember coming to my mom's house, but
Yeah.
it's there.
Gotcha.
Not the one all the way out in Erin that was like an hour and a half, but the one that was in Dixon.
Yeah, I gotcha. Not
I
too
think
far
I
away.
went there.
No, maybe like 20 minutes. No, probably not even that. Like 10 minutes, 15 minutes
Yeah, that sounds about right.
from Kyle's house.
Not bad.
Also, big news today: Jamal Adams signs a new contract, 4 years, $72 million, $38 million guaranteed, with a $20 million signing bonus. I don't know where this puts him as for safeties. It's not the highest, right? Isn't?
I'm pretty sure it is the highest.
Oh, okay. I
Okay,
thought Kevin Byard's was a lot higher than that.
I think
Kevin's
he
like
was like
14.
15, doesn't he?
Kevin's like 14.2, I think, and Jamal's at 17 and a half now.
Oh, okay. So yeah, that is by far the highest. So yeah, I mean, hey, good for Jamal Adams. Great move moving from the Jets. I think we all agree with that. But I think Seattle's a good place for him. I think they match his kind of play style. Anytime you have Pete Carroll as a coach is a good thing. Maybe he can kind of set the standard, recreate that Legion of Boom that they had a few years ago.
Yeah, the only thing is the people are so split on Jamal Adams because on one hand, you look at it, he had 9.5 sacks last year, which is the most a defensive back has ever had in a season since they started keeping up with stats or with the sack stat itself. The other way you can look at it is Jason Pierre-Paul, who doesn't even have a full hand, has 4 career interceptions. Vince Wilfork, who's a defensive tackle, has 3 career interceptions. Jamal Adams has 2. So
It's not good, but
It's
Jamal
pretty
Adams,
easy to get
he's
that.
only
Not
he's
interceptions.
what,
I
4
love
years in the
Jamal.
league?
do
He's
I?
young.
4
Oh,
years
yeah.
in the league, I think. Right, maybe
4 or
5.
maybe.
I think. Yeah, it'd probably be 5. I guess he was
Maybe.
the first year draft pick. You assume that they took
This
the
is
5th
probably
year
50
option.
years.
But regardless, he's definitely worth a lot of money. He's a great
Oh,
safety.
no doubt.
It just throws me off how much people. It's almost like politics. How widely people are divided on this one player. I think that's just really weird. I don't know why more people don't understand that he's a great player with just a weird group of stats. I mean, I think it's okay to accept him for the kind of football player he is because he's obviously very good.
Absolutely. He's really a linebacker that plays safety.
Mm-hmm.
So he's good at coverage. I guess people don't throw to him, and he plays, up on the line a lot. So
Yeah, I feel like he's more of a run support, hard hitting safety than you would see a ball hawk, And I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing by any means.
I
No,
mean,
it's not
that's
a
really
bad thing
what
at
a
all.
safety needs to, be good at is tackling. Not really.
Anybody listen? The Titans as a team had 19 sacks last year. This dude had 9.5 from the safety position.
Wow,
He's a difference maker.
I did not realize he had that many.
Yeah, 9.5. I mean that he's a difference maker for what he does, and as long as Seattle's willing to let him continue to do what he does, which I don't see why they wouldn't, I think it's a good deal for them. The thing is though, the Seahawks are in a weird spot with their salary cap and the fact that their offensive line is in absolute shambles.
Yeah, I think he had another season with the Jets that he had a lot of sacks at safety. This ain't the first year that he's done it, so.
Oh no, because he's always up towards the line of scrimmage. I mean, he's either like in coverage, he's guarding a tight end, or he's blitzing, or he's making tackles in the backfield. He's a really good football player, like you said. He's more like a linebacker than anything, but he's really good at what he does. And I just don't understand the people that think he's not good. Those people throw me off. A lot of people call him overrated, and I don't see that. I think his stats are weird, and he doesn't play like Ed Reed, and that's okay. But
right, he ain't the sexy pick, but he's somebody you want on your football team.
I'll take him on. Yeah, I'll take him on my defense all day.
I mean, we have Derwin James, so I don't know if I never.
That was a
You
great
would
pick.
have
All these
Jamal
players that
Adams.
we're talking about, by the way, got drafted the same as Zeke and Jalen Ramsey, and I think Corey Davis got drafted by the Titans that year. So all these players, the Titans or Cowboys could have had.
Maybe.
Was
I can't
that the same year?
remember. I don't. I think Jamal may have been
I
one
think
year.
Jamal Adams.
No, I think
Maybe.
Jamal Adams was pick number 5, wasn't he?
I don't.
Yeah,
I
he
think
was
so.
pick number 5.
Same as Jalen.
Yes, and so was Corey Davis, so that can't be the same draft. Wasn't Corey Davis 5? Yeah.
Or no, they was 3 that year, wasn't
No, they were 5.
So Jamal, this is taking it off of Jamal Adams, but Corey Davis, I know he's not on your team anymore, but how do you guys feel about that pick in hindsight as a Titans fan?
I feel like you had to make that pick because now, I mean, it was between him or Mike Williams, and honestly, I was a big fan of Mike Williams, but the injury history kind of leaned better for Corey Davis, even though it didn't really work out like that. I mean, Mike's been out a little bit too, but for me, more or less, it was a toss-up. I think Corey was probably a more complete receiver at that time. The Titans needed offensive help. Still looking back, I don't really hate the pick. And I think the Jets overpaid him. I would have loved to kept him on the team, but it makes sense to let him go. I mean, I'm not mad about him being gone. I'm not mad about him being our draft pick. But the Titans needed offense badly.
He seems to have good chemistry with Zach Wilson from that first game. But as far as his playoff performance, he wasn't worth that much money. And if he proves something in the playoffs, which I don't think the Jets are going to get there, but it ain't gonna. You ain't gonna remember him.
If he run blocks as well in the Jets as he did the Titans, he'll be fine. That guy can run block like crazy.
Absolutely, but do you still think he's worth the money that they gave him, even if he's a great run blocker?
If he produces 1,000 yards and maybe like 5 or 6 touchdowns and run blocks the way he did, I think that's fair.
Yeah, I don't think he'll have 1,000 yards, but that's just my opinion.
They're paying him on potential, though. I think if
Especially a young quarterback. I mean, I
wish we could have kept him.
If Zach Wilson turns out to be a superstar, then there's no doubt that Corey Davis his stats are going to go up as well. So I think it also kind of depends on Zach Wilson. If Zach Wilson turns out to be the best quarterback in this draft, then we
Corey
might
Davis
see.
might go to the Hall of Fame.
Right?
I will say, as a Titans fan, I'm much happier that we saved that money and spent it to go acquire somebody like Julio Jones than
I agree.
using the money on Corey Davis, who I liked. I liked when we drafted him. I liked him the entire time he was here. I know he played with heart. He didn't really match up to the potential that we expected because a lot of people were screaming T.O. when he got drafted. But I still like Corey. I wish him the best. I'm just glad we didn't give him that money and we used it to do what we did.
With that,
I did look it up. Jamal Adams was taken 6th overall. Corey Davis was taken 5th overall. So
it was a draft.
It was the same draft.
Derwin James was taken the following year. The Chargers didn't have a first-round pick that year. So,
Okay.
but Lee brought it up, the rookie quarterback situation and how we think that they're doing so far. Honestly, I thought all the rookie quarterbacks looked pretty good. Now this is a throw-out question, I guess. I didn't plan on doing this beforehand. I just thought of it. If we had to pick right now, which one of the 5 quarterbacks taken in the first round is going to have the better career, who are we taking? I think I'm going to go with Mac Jones, Tom Brady 2.0.
It's hard for me to bet against Trevor Lawrence. I really like Trevor Lawrence, and I honestly, it's really close with Justin Fields. Like he's if Cam Newton had a remake, it'd be him.
What's up, Casey?
Who's the 5th? I know there's a 5th one, but I can't think of it.
So it's Trevor, Zach, Trey, Mac, and Justin Fields.
Trey's the one I forgot, and that's the one I'll take. I think he'll have the best career because he's got the best coach, in my opinion. I'm not saying he's the most physically talented, but that young man is very talented. And this is something that I'm very reluctant to say. I was reluctant to say it the first time I saw it, but after watching Trey Lance in that first preseason game, I really did get a little bit of Steve McNair vibes, and I don't really throw that stuff out there a whole lot. I'm not saying he's as tough, just the way he kind of played, the way he moves, the way he looked out there on the field, big body, strong arm, athletic, can move. I like Trey. I like the situation that he's in. I like the weapons that are around him. I don't think Trevor has those weapons. I don't think Mac has those weapons. I don't think Fields definitely doesn't have those weapons, even though he is athletically as good as anybody else. And whoever the other Wilson's got young weapons and a young offensive line. I don't know what to expect out of their offense, but I'll take Trey Lance to have the best career.
I think it's a lot closer than it is anything. Like Justin said, all the quarterbacks, had a good first game. Trey Lance, he reminded me a little bit of Russell Wilson.
Yeah,
with that 80-yard touchdown pass, the way he just rolled out, threw a dart, and dude was gone. Trey Sherfield, I think that's who called it.
Yeah,
I think you're right.
But didn't he play at Vanderbilt? Maybe.
I think there was a Sherfield that played at Vanderbilt, but I don't know if it's the same one or not.
Okay. Anyways, Mac Jones, I think he's going to be good. I think, people saying that, him not being mobile is going to be his downfall and stuff. I don't think that's true. I mean, Tom Brady played 25 years in the league, and he wasn't ever mobile, so.
Still playing.
I think Mac Jones has, been coached by Nick Saban in college and now Belichick in the NFL. I think he's going to have the most success. But Trey Lance, I think, it impressed me a lot. So I didn't have him even starting in our little segment we did. But I think he's going to start.
I think Trey Lance looked really good. The only thing I would say is, and this kind of goes for Fields as well, and maybe even Wilson a little bit, but I think mobile quarterbacks look better in the preseason because the defenses don't really know what the fuck they're doing yet. And I think a lot of people have said that as well. So I would say probably I give the edge to Mac Jones because I saw what he could do without running around so much. You know, like he was changing protections, he was reading the defenses. He checked it down a lot, and his throws were a little off. Like I saw at least 4 or 5 throws I think that were low. But you got to assume that if he can read defenses already, and if he's already kind of dissecting them, you can assume that he's going to look pretty good when it comes to the actual season and the defenses actually know what's going on with their schemes.
I will say another thing too, though. I've always been against Mac Jones. I think he played better than I would have expected him to, but I still don't foresee him having a career much better than AJ McCarron. But I said pre-draft, whatever quarterback ends up with San Francisco is going to be put in the best situation. I still believe that to be true. If Trevor Lawrence was given anybody other than this offensive line and these receivers, I feel like he could be the answer here. And if we were going straight off talent, I mean, I think it's between Fields and Lawrence. But you've got to factor in other things, and that's why I feel like Lance is the pick here because of Shanahan, because of a really good offensive line, a few running backs, and some receivers he can throw to, including Jawan Jennings, who is showing out at San Francisco.
I did see that.
Yep, I love it. Way to go. That's the dog right there. That's my guy.
Two UT Vols showing out for California teams.
Yep.
Josh Palmer also doing pretty well. So just to kind of recap here, I'm going Mac Jones. Casey, you're going Trey Lance, and then Lee, you're also going Trey Lance?
Mac Jones.
Oh, you're going Mac Jones?
Yeah, Trey Lance a close second.
Okay. Kyle, who do you feel best about so far?
I think, if the Jaguars would have kept Tim Tebow, that would have been so good for Trevor Lawrence. He would have had a touchdown machine. We're talking Antonio Gates 2.0 out there.
We want people to take.
They had to cut him, and therefore Trevor Lawrence's career just went down the toilet.
We want people to take it serious. I might as well just crack open a Budweiser and sit here and shoot the shit with you guys because that's
the Tebow slander.
I
real.
Think I think long term, Trevor Lawrence will be the best quarterback. I think short term, I think Trey Lance probably has the edge just because of all the weapons. And then I like Fields. He's got a big, strong arm. I don't know if he'll be all that great necessarily, but he kind of reminds me of a little bit of Cam Newton. Not quite, but a little bit.
I could see it.
But what up?
I could see it, Cam Newton.
Yeah. But Trey Lance will definitely have the best short term. But I think like overall career, I think it'll be Lawrence.
I hope it's not Lawrence. He's in my division.
I agree.
I don't know. Just seeing Trevor Lawrence in a Jacksonville Jaguars uniform still looks weird to me. Like, I don't know. It just doesn't look right. So maybe it's intuition, you know? Maybe he goes somewhere else eventually and balls out.
That would probably be his best way to win.
We kind of talked about this with Josh Palmer, but a lot of rookies are kind of showing out. And, of course, my picks all pretty much come from the realm of the Chargers because that's the game I watched 3 quarters of versus a quarter to 2 quarters. But hey, Asante Samuel Jr. looked fucking awesome in his first preseason game. Like he was hitting people, like not like preseason hitting people. Like he was mid-season form, just slugging into guys, and I like to see that, especially from a cornerback. Like I don't know, it kind of, and he looked like he was juiced, like hyped up. So I'm all in on Asante Samuel Jr. I think he's going to be a great cornerback. And other guys, Josh Palmer, we mentioned him, looked really good for the Chargers. Has looked really good in camp. Let's see, who else did I watch? Najee Harris looked good, I thought, for the Steelers. And then, who else? That's the only one that comes to my mind. Anybody you guys saw that you liked?
My brother from another mother, Patrick Surtain.
Is that?
Oh, yeah.
Spelled slightly different, but
Who's the guy from the
Yeah,
Titans?
they
that
got
was
Justin
back in
Return
half?
for-
Sorry, you both spoke over each other.
Go
Go
ahead.
ahead.
Who's the guy from the Titans who had a sack and a half? Who was like the defensive lineman who was just
Rashad
everywhere?
Weaver. Rashad
Yes.
Weaver had
Oh.
more sacks in his
Killing
first preseason game than the last guy that wore 99 for the Tennessee Titans. Do y'all know who that is?
Jarrell Casey.
Jadeveon Clowney.
Damn it.
Yeah, I'll take Weaver all day. I like the 99 we got now.
Hey, he's super cheap too. 4th round, I think, or maybe 5th round, something like that.
Where does he come? Was he a Penn State guy?
I think
I want to
Pittsburgh.
say West Virginia, but I don't think that's right.
I think Kyle's right. Pittsburgh.
I think it was Pittsburgh.
It
What
is
was-
Pittsburgh. Same colors. I had the same colors, and you were in the same state. But it is Pittsburgh.
Well, hey, good for him, and hopefully he's as good as another defensive player coming from Pittsburgh.
That's what I said. Aaron Donald, baby.
They grow him different up there in
If he's
Yinzerville.
half as good as Aaron Donald, our defense should be 10 times better this year.
If he's
Just
like,
on him alone.
if he's a quarter as good as Aaron Donald, I think you got your money's worth of a 4th round pick. Keeping in the same division, the Colts looks like Carson Wentz and Quentin Nelson are trending for starting week 1. I mean, not good for if you're in that same division, but I mean, I like competitive football, so I'm happy because I like Carson Wentz. I like the Colts in general. I like them because they're a good organization. You know, they always seem to do things right. And Pat McAfee's a big spokesperson for Jim Irsay, and from his stories, Jim Irsay sounds like one of the best NFL owners because he sounds hilarious. Apparently he's a big hippie that sounds like a dope smoker. But
Yeah, I mean, that's why he got caught eating Vicodin and driving down the road 90 miles an hour.
hell yeah, that's the owner I want. I want him and Jerry Jones to co-own a team.
What a
Nothing would get done. Nothing would get done.
No.
It'd be like
Oh.
Democrats and Republicans in the House Senate just going back and forth. Just
But going back to Wentz and Nelson. So apparently, yeah, they went from being out 5 weeks to possibly being back in 5 weeks, like being full reps and everything in 5 weeks. So that's pretty awesome.
But
Good.
hey, listen, if you're a Colts fan, I mean, I don't really care. I think the Titans versus Colts. I think the Titans, they do what they do depending on how well they play. I think they're the better constructed roster right now. I'm not really worried about the Colts. But if you're a Colts fan, I would be deathly afraid of rushing people back too quickly because Quentin Nelson is the best offensive lineman in all of professional football. And Carson Wentz is a better quarterback than both Jacob Eason and Sam Ehlinger. I'm not saying he's good, but he's better than both of them. So those two guys give you a chance to win. If you rush them back and get them hurt again, then you've really hurt yourself.
Just saying though, I think that Jacob Eason and Sam Ehlinger look pretty decent in their
No, they don't look bad.
in their
They don't look
preseason
bad.
starts.
For sure. I didn't see any of the other Ellinger.
I just
They
saw
playing
a little bit while I was working, but I think he threw an interception maybe, but it was like one that he kind of got too much air underneath when he threw it. So
Yeah, he floated it and threw it a little late. The guy was open and it was the right throw or the right guy to throw to. It just wasn't a very good throw.
sounds like
I think he led on the game-winning drive or something, game-winning field goal.
yeah, I think he did too. So yeah, I mean, if you're the Colts, you definitely want Wentz back early, but with 18 or 17 game season, I think that you don't necessarily. It's not as rushed. You do have that extra game this year.
Yeah, I'm. If I was a Colts fan, I'd be down with waiting until week 3 or week 4 to make sure he's 100%. Both of them.
Maybe it's all strategy, and they're just trying to get their week 1 opponent psyched out from thinking, we got to prep for Carson Wentz, and then bam, Jacob Eason comes in there and does his thing.
Or Ellinger. There could be 3 options.
well,
They ain't really said nothing. So.
It could be.
They got to at least make
That's
the
not
other
a
team
bad
prep
game.
for him just in case he is healthy.
But if I'm a defensive coordinator, I feel like I can prepare much easier for Eason or Ellinger than I could for Wentz.
Exactly. That's why you got to pretend Wentz is going to come out that way. I don't know, because they're going to prepare for Wentz probably either way, whether he's going to play or not. But them thinking he's going to play, they're definitely going to prepare for him.
Right now, the Colts win betting odds is 9. So
Ooh, barely a winning record.
yeah, so I don't know if that's really going 9-8. I don't know if that's good enough to make the playoffs. So I don't know. That might be just because of Wentz's and Nelson's injuries, because they're not fully back yet. I don't know how it's moved since those injuries, but I mean, you got to assume that Carson Wentz is going to, if he plays well, they're going to win more than 9 games.
They were a really good team when Jacoby Brissett was the starting quarterback. I think they're going to be a good team regardless of who the quarterback is, but I think they're better with wins. Speaking
of Jacoby Brissett, have you guys seen this, that there might actually be a QB battle between Brissett and Tua? Like, I don't pay attention to the Dolphins at all. So when I saw that, it was very weird to me that that would even be like a question. So that'd be kind of crazy if 2 years in, Tua's getting benched for Jacoby Brissett.
Well, Jacoby Brissett's got, I mean, he's got a history of playing at a high level in the NFL. I mean, he's a good quarterback. And Tua, if he continues to look like crap, I mean, there's a reason why Fitzpatrick was the starter for the majority of the season last year. Tua has to figure it out, and he has to get going, or he's going to be left in the dust. And I like Tua.
Well, the report coming out last year that he didn't know the playbook definitely doesn't help. Of course, he didn't have an off season. He was injured, so maybe even that kind of limited his time to be able to study the playbook, learn the playbook, or what have you. I'm not saying I necessarily. I'm just trying to give him the benefit of the doubt, I guess.
I understand.
But he did not look good. He did not look good, and I wanted Tua over Justin Herbert in that draft. And now I'm so glad that I was wrong, and that that Tom Telesco knew that I was wrong and went with something different. Because Justin Herbert, absolute beast. Tua not looking so good, and those two are always going to be connected to each other because of the way that they were picked.
I didn't realize that Herbert finished with like 4,300 yards and 38 touchdowns last year. I didn't know he threw for that many yards. I mean,
he was slinging it.
Yeah, and I mean, how can you blame him? The Chargers are like third or whatever in the division. They might as well just go out there and fling that thing as far as they can. You know,
that's something else too. I saw that, or not necessarily saw, but heard, I guess, that the Chargers offense is actually looking to throw the ball deep more. They're looking for more deep balls, closer to almost like a Andy Reid style of throwing the ball, like a vertical offense. So that'd be awesome. I'm down for that. I don't know if we necessarily
Tyreek Hill or a version of them.
I will say I don't know if we necessarily have a speedster like that, but we definitely have a big giant receiver and Mike Williams, and we definitely have a good route runner and Keenan Allen, so that's never a bad thing.
True.
They've got to have one rando they can run, surely.
Guyton. He's pretty good. He's pretty fast. Can't think of his first name.
I was going to say, if they're going to run that kind of offense, they got to have one dude who can just get it and go.
Jalen Guyton.
Okay.
He went to North Texas.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
So, with this 17-game season now, do you think we'll see a 6,000-yard passer?
Eventually.
Ooh. Golly, that's a lot, though. I mean, we've only
had a lot.
5,000 yards. I mean,
yeah, is that the most?
And I think it will happen because the way the NFL is shifting towards quarterbacks getting flags for getting hit and just more passing and the way the offense in general is evolving, I think it's a possibility. But man, 6,000 is a lot.
Peyton holds the record right now with 5,417 or something like that. So
you'd have to have that season plus another 590-yard game. That's not that it's not possible. It is definitely plausible, but that's a lot. That is a lot to throw for.
I mean, if anybody's going to do it, you have to assume that Patrick Mahomes is probably the favorite, though.
Yeah,
Right.
they're going to have to just get rid of their running backs and defense, though. I mean, in order to get like give up a lot of points, and then him just have to throw the crap out of the ball. It's possible, though.
I don't know. I think it'll take probably a good while before it does happen. I mean, honestly, Peyton's still holding the record from 5-6 years ago, something, and
Almost 10.
Yeah, and the offense are just getting more and more potent. So they still haven't even broke that record yet. Which more than likely, a couple quarterbacks will probably do it this next year just because of the extra game. But it'll take a while before they get to 6,000.
I don't think they should take his record away because it should be split. Like this was a 16-game era and this is a 17-game era.
Yeah.
Because it just ain't fair if somebody breaks in 17 games.
You're
That's
right.
probably how they start running from 14 to 16.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I mean, at that point, I mean, you'd have to give OJ a record for rushing yards in a season because he had like 2K in 14 games. So, not that I disagree, but if you cross that line, you kind of open like a can of worms because then you've got to, you know what I'm saying? You've got to give these other guys that played 14-game seasons their whole record book, and it just becomes a whole lot of crap at that point.
Right.
Pretty sure I just got a friend request on Facebook from a Nigerian prince, so he's probably needs some money from me. I gotta.
Oh, hey! I gotta tell y'all this. I saw this the other day. This is off topic, but it's on that topic. I saw this on Twitter the other day. Those like companies that try to scam people or try to act like they're Nigerian princes. You know how whenever you read these emails or the messages that they send, they're always filled with like misspellings and bad grammar. They do that on purpose because they know that the smart people aren't going to give them money anyway, and the smart people just dismiss it like, "Oh, this is a scam," and they won't waste their time with those people. The stupid people that won't catch the spelling mistakes are the ones that are most likely to give them money. They put that in there on purpose.
That's pretty interesting, actually.
Isn't it? That's wild. It's genius. I love it. I give them credit for that kind of hustle.
Mastering it.
Yeah,
Psychological warfare.
I love it.
Okay, so I'm gonna switch this over here to what is it? This one? Oh wait, hold on. Forgot to remove the video from last week. So this is the NFL's top 100 players. I thought we'd just go through the top maybe 10, 15, something like that. Did you guys look at any of this first? Sorry, say that again. Hold on, I gotta...
Well, this is the CBS Sports version of it. This isn't even the NFL.com version.
No. I think it is the actual NFL.
Oh, is it?
It's the NFL list, I believe, yeah.
It's all good. We know enough about football. We can.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's their version, or they're just like compiling it. I could be wrong though. I didn't watch it, but we'll go through it anyways. So number 1, Patrick Mahomes. 2, Aaron Donald. 3, Aaron Rodgers. 4, Tom Brady. 5, Travis Kelce. Anything you guys interesting about that? I mean, Travis Kelce being that high is kind of interesting to me.
Travis Kelce isn't even the best tight end.
Ooh.
George Kittle is 5 times the run blocker that Travis Kelce is.
I'm not disagreeing. I think that's just a fun take.
Yeah, but this is all a popularity contest. It's like voting for prom queen or king in high school. It's you know the popular kids that get thrown on the front. Derrick Henry not being in the top 5 is complete crap because I think he's second only to Aaron Donald as far as best players in the NFL. And all of those lists are stupid, and everybody else's opinions are exactly that. Opinions.
Where is Derrick Henry?
He is at number 11.
That's not good enough, but
I don't even think they were Derrick Henry the top running back in Madden.
No, they didn't.
No,
it was
McCaffrey.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I think Derrick Henry's the best running back in the NFL.
Completely agree.
All All right, so
He's
now
top 10 player by far.
number 6 we have T.J. Watt, 7 Devontae Adams, 8 Russell Wilson, 9 Myles Garrett, 10 Josh Allen.
Myles Garrett should be up above T.J. Watt for sure. At least all those below him should be higher than T.J. Watt.
Ooh.
Yeah,
very
I feel like TJ's very overrated. I think he's a very good football player, but he gets a lot of help from a nasty Pittsburgh defense that allows him to get a lot of one-on-one blocks. Now, he beats those blocks a lot, but I think he's overrated, personally.
I mean,
I'm
that
taking the
both
guy
great
that's
players.
going to rip somebody's helmet off and then beat the crap out of him with it.
Owning it.
Yeah, how did
I would
Myles
rather
Garrett...
have Myles Garrett for sure.
If Myles Garrett isn't a superstar in this league, is he still in the NFL? I don't think he's in the NFL anymore. If that happens to someone who is probably even a backup, I don't think they're in the NFL anymore. Maybe even a fringe starter. They're probably not even in the NFL anymore.
I've never thought about that, but you might be right.
He's a superstar. So
Yeah.
in Cleveland, which is, they at the time they were hard up for superstars. Now they're pretty talented.
Yeah, take away their best player. Watch that city burn. It's so bad.
They felt sorry for Cleveland. They finally got a good fucking player. So
Yeah,
they don't
right.
wanna-
Take him away. I think that was that Baker's rookie year too. So at that time, no, maybe it was.
I can't remember.
I can't
They
either.
got them in the same draft though, right?
No, there was.
Sure. They're both number
No,
one overall pick.
Myles Garrett was number 1, yeah.
Yeah, Myles Garrett was the same year as Trubisky in them, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that
Okay.
sounds right.
Yeah, Patrick Mahomes, Deshaun Watson. I'm pretty sure that was the Corey Davis and Jamal Adams draft too. Because I think I was at Nissan Stadium whenever that all happened. I remember watching that.
So yeah, Josh Allen breaking into the top 10. That's pretty cool. Then number 11, we have Derrick Henry, Stephon Diggs, Tyreek Hill, Jair Alexander, Jalen Ramsey.
Ooh.
That I don't disagree with it.
I don't either. But just putting Alexander in front of Ramsey, you know how much that hurts Ramsey's ego?
Oh,
Like,
you
all
know
the
he's
rest
pissed.
Oh my God.
They
That's
probably
cute.
did it just to troll him.
Probably, which is great. I'm down with that.
Especially one spot, like
Oh yeah.
Exactly.
one spot in front of him. Like you're the best cornerback, but you're not better by this much than this guy.
Yeah.
That's bold move.
Hey, I love a good troll. I'm down with a good troll job, so that's okay by me.
Who else was on this list? Tyreek Hill at 13. I think that might be. Well, I guess that's about right. Maybe he could have gone a little higher, I guess. No.
I haven't seen DeAndre Hopkins yet, and yet there's been 3 receivers, and a tight end ahead of him.
Oh, you're gonna be very disappointed if you're looking for DeAndre Hopkins.
That's nuts.
They go based off of your last year's stats.
He is the best receiver in the game. The best. Number 1, no ifs, ands, or buts. DeAndre Hopkins is better than every other receiver in the NFL right now.
I don't think we're gonna make it this high in the list, so I'll just show you where he's at. He's at 36.
Dang.
He's 2 clicks away from a 2-year quarterback the second-year quarterback that didn't even start the entire year last year. This list is crap. All of these lists are crap. It's all crap. It's terrible.
Well, when you throw for like 4 million yards and 48 touchdowns and like 1 pick, and you rush and you knock a guy out that played for the Chiefs when he was trying to tackle you.
I like Herbert. DeAndre Hopkins is the best receiver in the game. He's been the best receiver in the game for a few years now. That's disrespectful and, quite frankly, ignorant. And whoever comes up with these lists is a full-blown moron that quite literally has no idea what they're doing.
Now, I don't want to say that this means I won the would you rather between Stephon Diggs and DeAndre Hopkins, but I mean, I think we can see where CBS stands.
I just told you how ignorant that list is.
I think Tyreek Hill is closer to the best receiver. Is closer to DeAndre Hopkins than any other receiver. Like his
What about
speed.
Devontae Adams? He's way up there, isn't he?
He was number 7. So yeah, I like Devontae Adams as the best wide receiver. I do agree that DeAndre Hopkins should be higher.
I could stand seeing Devontae higher than DeAndre. That doesn't really bother me. I'm okay with that. But seeing a multitude of people that are a good bit in front of DeAndre Hopkins and it being people from his position group is blasphemy, is what it is.
Embarrassing.
Well, here's my thing. Put Devontae Adams on the Cardinals, or even with the Texans with Deshaun Watson, and then put DeAndre Hopkins with Aaron Rodgers.
Jeez.
See what happens.
I can't even imagine. 2,000 yards a season, maybe?
He wouldn't need no other weapon because he had DeAndre.
No. That's pretty much what he does with Devontae Adams now.
Well, I was trying to find the actual NFL's top 100 list just to see like where they fell, but they apparently don't give it to you in an actual list. You have to watch the videos, and yeah, we're not going to do.
Yeah, all the videos haven't been dropped yet, so they still have like
that's
30.
why.
Yeah,
I thought they dropped them all like last.
No,
weekend.
not yet. I don't think.
Sorry, I got a little ahead of us there. Trent Williams, number 16, then Nick Bosa. Ooh, okay, all right. Zach Martin, Dalvin Cook, Khalil Mack. All right,
Still?
I'll lead this one. First of all, Nick Bosa isn't even the best Bosa. All right. Third of all, no, I'm just kidding. Second of all, Khalil Mack is better than Nick Bosa. Third of all, I don't know if Nick Bosa even belongs in the top 20. I'll say it. I believe he's a great player. I believe he's gonna be a great player. I don't know if I'm there yet. I don't know if I'm number 16, 17.
Yeah, not quite.
I don't even think he's the best player on their defense.
Who are you going with?
Fred Warner is
yeah.
than Bosa is defensive end, in my opinion. Honest, humble opinion.
His resume is so short too. Like he missed 14 games last season? Yeah, 14 games last season. So
Dang.
like we're really going off his first year?
And his potential, apparently.
Yeah, so that's you know what, Casey, I'm on board. This list is fucking shit. It's bullshit. I'm just kidding. All right, what else we got? Zach Martin, though. Hey, I'll respect that. Number 18.
Dude, he's been one of the best offensive linemen for a long time.
Oh yeah, no doubt. I think
I hope he can continue to stay healthy, though. I think didn't he have like some blood clot issues or something?
That was Frederick, and he retired.
Okay. Well, that's good. I just
Well,
I was
that hurt my soul because that offensive line. If it wasn't for them, there wouldn't have. DeMarco Murray wouldn't have had that 1,800-yard season. Zeke Elliott wouldn't have been as good as his rookie year. So
when that line is healthy,
don't get enough props.
Especially that Cowboys line during the late 2010s, like the Tyron Smith, Zach Martin. What was your center's name? Frederick.
Yeah, Travis Frederick.
He was good. Then you had La'el Collins, and then you had who was your right tackle? It might have been La'el Collins. You had two good guards. They had the best offensive line in football by far for a few years. All 5 of them were pretty much Pro Bowlers except for La'el Collins.
But that's how you succeed with a rookie quarterback and rookie running back. But that offensive line was absolutely the best in football.
Crazy good.
Jerry Jones built that because Tony Romo was soft as a pretzel.
Just a pretzel.
He did break his back when a guy kind of, jumped on top of him.
Hey, DeMarco Murray ran like a champ behind that line too.
Dude was a monster. And then he went to the Titans, and You could just tell he didn't have a lot left in the tank, but he ran his heart out, dude.
He still led the AFC in rushing with the Titans.
Yeah.
He was a brute. He was one of them dudes I wouldn't want to have to hit. That dude, oh my god.
Yeah. He had over 1,300 yards.
Imagine playing a game against DeMarco Murray, and then DeMarco Murray comes out, and Derrick Henry comes in. That's a long day.
Yeah, no wonder NFL players get paid millions. You'd have to pay me that to try and tackle those two dudes.
So I'm sorry, I have to bring this up. AJ Dillon, the running back from Boston College. Yeah, plays for the Packers now. He's huge, right? Okay, so on the Pat McAfee show, one of the co-hosts, I guess you would say, like one of the boys, he calls them, his name is Connor, and he's from Boston, the same area as AJ Dillon. They played against each other in high school. Connor was a senior, and AJ Dillon was like 14 years old playing against seniors. And Connor tackled him or pushed him out of bounds or whatever. So they were talking about, like, joking about doing an Oklahoma drill and seeing who won or whatever. AJ Dillon accepted it. So it's probably not going to happen now, which sucks because that would have been awesome to see a normal human try to tackle AJ Dillon. So I can't imagine meeting Derrick Henry in the hole. Like, that is terrifying.
I don't try to tackle any NFL player, any of them. I don't care if it's a punter. They are professional athletes. I could probably tackle the punter. That's not the point. But any of these other, like, running backs, no. They will give you a concussion when they stiff arm you into the dirt. No, I'm talking like okay. So if I get to tackle like maybe a kicker, I can take down Rodrigo Blankenship. I got glasses. He's got glasses. We're both on the same level, okay? But if we're talking Johnny Hecker or like Sebastian Janikowski in his prime, that's a big dude. You ain't tackling that dude. Yeah, probably. Technically, he might be close, but he's not the best kicker ever now.
Who is it?
Will Hoyt?
Is that who you really think he is?
I don't know. I'd have to sit down and figure out who actually, like, all the kickers that came through the SEC.
Dude, I agree.
Didn't one of the Andersons play in the damn SEC?
Probably, but that was like when Clemson was still in the SEC in the 20s.
They still had one bar on their face mask.
Yeah, if they had a face mask, they played with leather helmets.
Texas.
They're not Texas to the Texas in the Big Ten.
Yeah, what Texas are we expecting? Are we expecting the same Texas that it starts 20th in the national rankings and then ends up 5 and 7? Because if it's that Texas, then yeah, they're probably going to do that. But if Texas thinks Vince Young is going to show up, lose 300 pounds, and play quarterback again, they've lost their minds. I mean, Texas is not that good anymore. This is the offensive line pod. If I'm not offensive, what am I supposed to do? You want me to sit here and sing hymnals? I mean, what do you want?
They got rid of Mac Brown. They tried to put all the blame on him, and that wasn't great.
That's exactly what happened. Because now Mac Brown is at North Carolina, and that's a really good program right now. They're recruiting well. They're winning a lot of games. They got one of the best quarterbacks in college. They run the crap out of the ball really well. They play good defense. He's a good coach. When they ran him out of town, that's when they started asking for it.
Yep. He got done dirty, I thought.
They asked him to retire. It was one of those things where, like, hey, Mac, we're going to let you walk out on your own unless we have to make you walk out on your own.
Yeah.
Something like that, yeah.
They hired
I think it was after Colt McCoy. Yeah. That didn't work.
Muschamp? Did they have?
He was coaching Waiting.
He was never their coach. He left to go to somewhere else first.
That's right.
He was the coach in Waiting and
yes.
dipped on.
He bolted.
Not like he would have been any better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. He went. Didn't he go to South Carolina first or something like that?
No, Florida first, right?
South Carolina.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
At best, they're Georgia. They get close but can't close it. I think Oklahoma's going to be good for a really long time, just like Georgia, Clemson, Alabama, Ohio State, stuff like that. But I just don't think they have it in them. Not right now.
I think you're right. I think at best
really long time.
They're probably like Georgia as far as wins, but they're going to be the exact opposite of Georgia on the field. It's going to be all offense, no defense, and they're going to find out really quickly that instead of just playing one SEC school once every 2 or 3 years and getting hit in the mouth or whatever, they're going to play an SEC school every week. And it doesn't matter if you play Ole Miss or Mississippi State or Auburn or LSU or Tennessee or anybody other than Vanderbilt, somebody's going to punch you square in the mouth. And it's going to be a change of scenery for Oklahoma. They're going to win a lot of games. They got a great coach. They got a great offense. Rattler's going to be gone after this year, but they continue to recruit kids. They're going to put up points no matter what, but their defense is going to fail badly.
Do you think they adjust their play style a little bit to the SEC? Do you think they, instead of being more air raid oriented?
I don't see how
that's how the offense is going anyway. The SEC offenses are starting to get faster. Look at LSU; they just won the championship. Alabama, they've been going pretty high octane offense. They run the ball a lot, but they throw the ball a lot more.
That's fair. That's a good point. So yeah, I mean, I could see Oklahoma doing pretty well, but Texas likely
they're
will never.
getting ranked number 2 right now, which I think is crap. But
you're right, we do have that. So I'll go ahead and bring that up. First, I wanted to talk about that was Tim Tebow, but the Field of Dreams game.
Oh yeah, I heard Tim Tebow was going to get hired as the preacher of the NFL. By the way.
Again,
let me know when we're going to talk football.
Just burying. The Field of Dreams game. That was a good game. I mean, the game
that
itself.
That was the coolest shit I've ever seen in my life. I will have to say.
As far as the game goes, it couldn't have been any better, more interesting either.
It was the highest watched regular season baseball game in 16 years. If this doesn't show Major League Baseball that they need to find new ways to implement something into the game, then nothing's ever going to help them. I've been saying for a long time now they should be open to miking up their players like they did in spring training. That was huge. They need to find new ideas. This Field of Dreams game, the Field of Dreams game was really, really good, and it was great for baseball. I think it's great for the casual fan. I think it's great for the hardcore fan. I don't really care much for the Yankees or the White Sox, and I enjoyed the crap out of it. Other people enjoyed it. There was a lot of really positive feedback on Twitter about it, and Twitter is not known for positive feedback of anything, so that was good. I think that was great for Major League Baseball, but they need to continue doing things like that to bring in more people.
And I'm glad you brought up continue doing things like that, because this leads to my idea. Well, I'm sure someone else has had the same idea, but I think it would be a really cool idea. Remaking the Polo Grounds. So it's one of the most popular alternate maps in the MLB The Show game. I think it was called like the New York Polo Grounds or something like that. It was played in by the original New York Giants baseball team. And it's probably one of the weirdest fields we ever saw. I think center field is like 600 feet deep, and then the right and left field are like 100. So I think that would like rebuild like a stadium, or I guess you would call it a field. I guess rebuild a field like that. I think that would be awesome to watch baseball be played on by today's players. Have the San Francisco Giants face the New York Yankees in it. Like that would be awesome, I think.
Just a few things. First of all, if you've ever watched the Fastest 2 Minutes in Sports with Chris Berman, whenever he, like at halftime, whenever he was talking about scores and stuff, he would call the Giants, he'd call them the New York Football Giants, because that's the way people had to differentiate in the 50s and before between the baseball team and the football team. Now, other than that, which I think is just a cool little historical tidbit, each pole, I believe this is correct, I may be a little bit off, but each pole at Polo was 180 foot, and center field is 565 or 545.
Yep.
The dimensions, and here's the other thing, which this is something that Major League Baseball hasn't had in a very long time. The bullpens are actually in the field of play.
Yeah.
The relievers warming up would be in left center and right center. Which I mean, I think you would think after 500 foot you would know to get the hell out of the way. But I don't think that should be a problem. But regardless, I think doing something like that, although I don't know if it would be cost efficient, would be very, very cool. Any idea like that? I saw somebody said they needed to recreate the what they call it, backyard baseball or whatever, the Pablo Sanchez. Somebody needs to recreate the field with the pool in the corner. I saw a few ideas like that I thought were really neat. I think that would be cool if you could figure out a way to do it and not cost way too much money.
Oh yeah, no doubt. I mean,
they should do the Field of Dreams game every year. I mean,
they are. Next year it's the Cubs and the Reds.
Well, not just a game. That'll have a full series out there. Have a full series, 3-game series. Throw 2 teams out there. Get your 3 or 4 cameras. Put it together in the middle of nowhere, Iowa. It was perfect. I loved it for baseball. It was a big deal, and I'm happy for them. I'm happy it worked out, and they need to continue to do it.
Did you guys see the Guy Fieri apple pie hot dogs?
Mm-mm.
Oh, okay, so it looks like a Hot Pocket almost. It's like a little pastry that's kind of flat, and it's got the big lump in the middle, which is the hot dog. And then it's filled with, I guess, apple pie. And so there's a hot dog in the middle of the apple pie, and then you put like a bacon mustard crumble on top of it. People were saying it was really good. I mean, it sounds like a heart attack of American food, but I would have eaten it.
I would have tried it for sure. It doesn't sound awful. I mean, some people really, really like salty and sweet together.
Yeah, that's really kind of what it would be, I guess, is that saltiness of the hot dog and the sweetness of the apple pie. Would you guys have tried that?
Listen,
I don't know.
I'm obese, and I don't want to eat that. It sounds disgusting.
What? No, it sounds great, dude. What are you talking about?
Listen, I like collard greens and I like ice cream, but that don't mean you put them together. This is a bad idea. It's a bad idea. I think it sounds like crap. To be honest, I'm not going to eat it.
Yeah, after watching American Pie growing up, I don't think I could eat anything that involves a hot dog and an apple pie. Sorry, I'm on my bed.
Oh my god. That was probably the best take of the day, actually. Lee wins the day, no matter what is said after this. That was perfect. But yeah, Polo Grounds. I think they should at least look into it. Made it be interesting. Carson Wentz, Nelson coming back. We talked about that. RG3 coming in as a college football analyst. I think this could be cool. I like RG3. I haven't heard him call a game or be an analyst, but I like RG3 as a person. I think it'd be pretty fun. I think I'm always in favor of former players getting into that position and kind of spreading some knowledge, kind of how Tony Romo does. Of course, he's not a color commentator. He's just an analyst, but Dan Orlovsky, also another good one in that position.
Orlovsky's really good, too.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, he is.
I will say about RG3, I've only ever heard good things about his ability to like be an analyst. They say he's a perfect fit for it. I don't know. I haven't seen him yet. But there's a lot of people in football and in TV that think this is a perfect opportunity for him. So I hope he succeeds. I hope he does really well. And like you said, Justin, I like it when the former athletes get to kind of go out there and show their aspect of it instead of just people that are paid to talk about football. You have people that actually played football. And if they can do the talking well enough, then it's usually more interesting than the guys that just talk.
We would like to say, though, that the guys that just talk that maybe never played in the NFL can sometimes offer some valuable insight.
Absolutely.
And, a good, side commentary. Maybe they are in a podcast that maybe sometimes buries other people. Maybe they should be more respected around the YouTube community. And maybe you should like and subscribe to their YouTube channels.
Ain't no maybe to it.
But I totally agree. RG3 as an analyst, I think that's going to be a lot of fun. All right, so this is what we came here for. The top 25 in the college football rankings.
I don't see Tennessee on here. What the hell?
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense.
I think they were number 26. Just barely missed it.
I hope not, because I disagree with this list, too.
Where would you honestly put Tennessee right now?
Probably somewhere in the 60s. What'd you say, Kyle?
Maybe like 60s, 70s.
Yeah, 60s, somewhere in the 60s.
Yeah.
That
I mean, if I had to go down and try and break down every single team, I might could squeeze them up to the like high 50s, 58, 59, something
really?
like that.
You put them that low, you think?
Oh, yeah. And Kyle, I don't mean to cut you off here, but here's the deal. It's going to take a work of God to win 6 games this year. We've lost almost 30. I'm not kidding. We've lost almost 30 kids to the transfer portal. We didn't add that many in. We're just going to have less bodies than other teams. You can't expect to compete with other really good football teams, which is what the SEC is, when you don't have as many bodies, much less as many athletic good bodies compared to the other teams that have routinely and will continue to kick your ass. They have done that for the last few years, and they're going to this year just simply because they're bigger, stronger, and faster. Hopefully, Heupel does well enough that he can bring in people like Walter Nolan and other high-end recruits. But right now, we don't have those kids. We just don't. We don't have those types of athletes, and we don't have enough athletes. The body count alone makes me scared that it's going to be hard to beat teams like the really good SEC teams. But if we can beat like Bowling Green and Pittsburgh and these other crappy teams, then I'll be okay. After that, anything we win in the SEC other than maybe Vanderbilt and maybe South Carolina is kind of icing on the cake for me, because those teams, they're full, they're big, they're strong, they're fast, and we are not currently.
Looks like they're favored at 6.6 wins. So they think you're going
to win 8 games. I wouldn't be surprised.
Do what?
If we won 8 games this year, I wouldn't be surprised. Just because we finally dog, and I'm like, hey, this is not going to be the year for sure. Next thing you know, we sneak up on everybody. Beat Ole Miss, beat Missouri, beat South Carolina. Pretty much everybody but the big 3 and another team.
You're right. I wouldn't be surprised if we won 8. I also wouldn't be surprised if we won 4. That's true for me right now.
I'm just going to read off the schedule real quick. Bowling Green, win.
W.
Pitt,
It's
W.
kind of iffy.
I think they beat Pitt.
Tennessee Tech, dub.
Dub.
Yeah, they're
Florida,
L.
probably gonna lose.
Missouri,
I don't know. We could win it. We could lose
They're
it. I
not been
don't know.
that good.
Drinkowitz had them going really good at the end of last year. That's the only thing that kind of bothers me. If they're really bought into what he's doing and they're up and rolling at like 4-0 or 3-1 and they've got a lot of confidence playing against Tennessee, we could lose that game.
I agree.
South Carolina.
That's a dub.
They
Really?
suck.
Oh,
Beeman's
okay.
trash or whatever the hell his name is. What's his name? Beamer?
I think
Shane,
it's Beamer.
Shane
Yeah,
Beamer?
Beamer.
Yeah, trash. That's Frank's kid. Trash.
Ole Miss.
They're going to
If we can
outscore.
outscore them, yeah, I don't know.
We
Their
gotta bring
offense
our
is
squad there.
proven
That
to find his legs.
I
Yeah, Lane
have more
Kiffin's gonna
confidence
try,
in their
so.
offense than ours right now.
You have more
Yeah.
confidence in their offense than yours?
Yes, right now.
Mhm.
Now, I mean, that may change whenever we play them, but right now, I know that Ole Miss's offense can put up 50 points on our head like nothing.
Alabama, L.
L,
No, that's going to be the game we sneak up and win.
you have lost your mind. Quit
By
doing
40.
drugs.
By 40.
We may score 10 points that game.
People
But they're
going
going
to
to
stop.
score 0.
Man, I don't even know if we
Shout out
had any
City.
viewers, but they're going to stop watching right there because you said that dumbass shit.
I'm being sarcastic. No way we win that game. Not
mean-
a chance in hell.
I did not watch any Alabama football except for the national championship last year. Do we have any idea how good Bryce Young is going to be? I mean, we of course we assume he's going to be young, but
They
good.
could run out there with a walk-on quarterback, play triple option, and still beat us by 3 touchdowns with ease.
Agreed.
That'd be
They
fun
could
to
probably
watch.
start their full second stringers and still beat us.
Bryce Young's gonna come out there with diamonds in his helmet and shit. Fucking
He might. Good for him. Hey, young baller making money, dude. I'm happy for him. Go out there and get the cash. Go get it.
It is pretty amazing that a quarterback who has not played very much college football at all, if
he
any.
ain't started a game.
Yeah, I would say he hasn't started a game. It's pretty amazing that Alabama is that good that people are willing to throw money at him without knowing whether how good or bad he is.
I think
Yeah,
he'll be fine. It'd be hard to look bad.
Yeah, definitely good for him, no doubt.
I don't care what the reasoning is. If somebody throws $1 million at me, I'm gonna take it.
Oh yeah,
Absolutely.
So good for him. I'm happy for him. I'm happy. And all these other kids that are getting money too, the people that play college football have been deserving money for a long time. These coaches can get up, do whatever they want. They make millions of dollars. That's bull. These kids, they deserve money. I'm glad they're getting money.
I talked to an Ohio State fan a few weeks ago, and I was just talking like, how do you guys think Ohio State's going to be this year? And he was like, well, I don't know now that the kids aren't playing for the spirit of the school or some shit like that. And I was just like, dude, like, who cares? Like,
They were never playing for the spirit of the school anyway. They're playing for the hopes they can get to the NFL. Now, if they're making money, they're just going to try harder to make money now and to make money later. The fact that these people think kids are just going to stop playing hard because companies aren't coming out to give them cash is stupid. If anything, it's going to push the kids that really give a crap to play harder and become better football players, if anything. I don't think it really changes the aspect of college football. The people that feel that way, I think they're crazy, especially that guy, whoever that Ohio State fan is. He's crazy for being a State fan anyway. But if he thinks that way, he's insane. It's just going to push kids to play harder and be better so they can get money now and get it later. That's the only way I look at it.
do you guys think
I feel
that...
look in both different ways, honestly. Some people will agree with what you're saying, and some of these kids are going to get the money and be like, I'm fine. I've got what I wanted. I'm going to spend my money and have some fun and then not take football seriously. Now, I agree. It's going to probably be like a 50-50 split if you ask me.
Those would be the kids that do that, though, would be the same kids that would be doing stupid, idiotic crap anyway.
Not necessarily, but those kids would definitely be more prone to do it, yes.
But
Okay.
let's not kid ourselves either that college football players weren't getting paid at all. Like they were
Well,
I mean they were already getting paid. There's no
Yeah.
doubt in my mind, obviously. because the Ohio State fan was like, now that the kids are getting paid, and then he brought up the fact that kids from the SEC get paid all the time, but the kids they go to Ohio State, no, they don't. They go for the spirit of the school. He legitimately tried to argue that with me. I didn't respond because I was his bartender. I was trying to, get some money from him, or else I would have said something. But yeah, let's not kid ourselves that Ohio State isn't paying kids, or wasn't paying kids. Now they don't have to because their boosters can hire them to be endorsement items for their bullshit organization that sells tires or some shit. But exactly. Let's not kid ourselves that these players weren't already getting paid.
Yeah, there was one kid that I think plays defensive back at LSU or something, and he signed a NIL with some kind of contract with a local car dealership, and he's driving around in a 5.0 Mustang convertible, like brand new car. I was like, hey, that's awesome. I mean, at least now he can do that, and the NCAA ain't going to show up knocking on his door trying to take whatever trophy he got away. Because it's BS, because they knew it was going on. They just want to act like they're the superior people whenever they find out about it, even though they know everything that's going on. If it's all happening under the table and everybody knows it's going on, then why not just address it? Why not like they've done? I'm happy. I'm fine with it. It doesn't bother me at all.
Bringing it back
for a long time. You can't tell me Deion Sanders wasn't getting paid. All them damn necklaces.
For years.
Let's get back to the top 25 because we never addressed it. So before we forget to address it, all right. So Alabama number 1, Oklahoma number 2, Clemson, Ohio State, Georgia, A&M, Iowa State, Cincinnati, Notre Dame, UNC, Oregon, Wisconsin, Florida, Miami of Florida, versus Miami of Ohio, who I'm sure would have been ranked number 14, obviously, because they're such a great organization. They're such a great program over there, in the MAC. The USC Trojans, LSU, Indiana, Iowa. Sorry, I almost said Iowa State. Penn State, Washington, Texas, Coastal Carolina, Louisiana, Utah, and Arizona State. Anything that you guys think stands out?
I don't think Oklahoma's number 2.
Arizona State too high.
Oklahoma. You think Oklahoma shouldn't be that highly? Okay, so you would put them a little bit lower?
Yeah, I would put Bama, Ohio State, Clemson, Georgia, then Oklahoma.
Okay, so you still have them in your top 5.
Yeah.
Okay, I was wondering
I think Ohio State's number 2.
I was wondering how low you were going to go there. Kyle, what did you say?
I think the only reason Oklahoma's number 2 is because they have a semi-experienced quarterback. Clemson and Ohio State, I'm pretty sure, are both breaking in new guys, so you got to put them there just for that.
Who is the?
Yeah, that Ogunawale, whatever the hell that dude's name is for Clemson. He got some playing time last year.
He looked good.
He did really well.
And he lost to Notre Dame.
I know it.
And he threw for a bunch of yards.
He was a freshman too, right?
Yeah.
And he's a big dude that can run.
Cannon. He's got a cannon of an arm. Good quarterback. DJ Ugalele or whatever. What is it you said, Kyle?
Ungalele or something?
I think that's right.
I think you're right as well. What about Ohio State? Who's their quarterback?
Stroud. Maybe.
I don't even know.
CJ Stroud. Maybe that's right.
Stroud.
Stroud.
Are you saying Shroud like the streamer? If Shroud's starting, hey, I mean he's a laser. He's a laser with the FPSs, but I can't imagine Shroud being the starting quarterback of Ohio State. I'm looking it up right now. Yeah, it is CJ Stroud.
Stroud, my bad.
There was a Tennessee fan in a Facebook group that incorrectly got him mixed up with JT Shrout, who was a former UT player that transferred to Colorado. And he was mad that we didn't keep JT Shrout because he's the top contender or the top player for Ohio State, to which we tried to explain to him that he was wrong and had the wrong person in mind. This individual on Facebook seemed to be approximately 75, maybe 80 years old. So therefore, you can understand that we could not get our facts across. He all thought we were stating opinions, whereas he was stating fact. I hate old people on Facebook in other news. But I will say about the top 25 real quick. I'm interested to see how good Iowa State and Cincinnati really are. I'm not saying they don't deserve to be there. They're just a new team and new teams. I'd like to see if they can continue to play well like they did last year. Matt Campbell at Iowa State is one of the best coaches in the country, I think. So I want to see them continue to do well. And then the other one, Iowa at 16, I think it was. I don't really remember them being all that hot last year, or 18, excuse me now. So I don't know if Iowa really deserves to be up there. And of course, I think Louisiana and Coastal Carolina are there from last year's successes. Hopefully they can continue to play well too, because I'd like to see them stay up there. I like to see new teams, underdogs do well. But Iowa's the one that really confuses me, because I don't really expect them to be that good.
I feel like Iowa's one of those teams that's always pretty good. Like
they're always decent, but are
like
they
Wisconsin
in the country?
Yeah, Wisconsin also. I think Wisconsin's ranked number like 14 or some shit like that. But I agree with Cincinnati and Iowa State. I think Cincinnati more so than Iowa State. They have a lot to prove this year, because Cincinnati, there were talks of them being in the college football playoffs, and now they'll have a chance again. Are we going to 12 teams this year? Is that like confirmed?
Absolutely not.
Okay. All right. I will say, I know it's been in talks, but I think if they play good this year, do you think that they make it into the 4-team?
Nah.
No.
Really?
No.
And if they're undefeated.
Yeah, if they're undefeated, they could get in.
Well, yeah. If they're undefeated. I think if they lose one game, if you're a group of 5 team, if you lose one game, there's no way that you can be looked at for the playoff.
I don't know who they.
The only way they get in.
Go ahead, my bad.
The only way they get in is if they go undefeated, blow out their conference championship game, and then one of the other top 4 has 2 losses, maybe even 3. The only way.
I agree. Sure. That's what I was going to say. I don't know who Cincinnati plays on their schedule that is a Power 5 team, but it's going to need to be a good team, like a Georgia or a Wisconsin or something in that area. It's going to have to be a good team. They're going to have to beat the crap out of them, and they're going to have to beat the crap out of everybody else that they play all year long to get considered, while also being obviously undefeated, for being considered to get into the top 4 playoff. They just have to. And that may not be fair or right in other people's minds, but that is the way it is.
All right, so this is Cincinnati's schedule. Miami of Ohio, Murray State, Indiana, at Notre Dame. So
at
2 2 big games back to back.
Ooh.
So if they win those 2 games, it's looking pretty good for them.
I agree. They might get in.
What'd you say, Casey?
Even though Notre Dame is crap.
Oh, I hope they clap Notre Dame's cheeks. I hope they beat them 42-13. Maybe even drop a 50 bomb on their head. They wouldn't bother me a bit.
Nope. Notre Dame suit.
Temple, UCF, at Navy, at Tulane, Tulsa, at USF, versus SMU, and then at East Carolina. So it's pretty much, if they get past Indiana and Notre Dame, if they win out, that's a pretty good season.
They could get in. They could. They really could. But they're, like Kyle said, they're going to need help from those other big top programs that you see 1 through 6. They're going to need help from some of those teams. They're going to have to lose, because I don't think a 1-loss Clemson or a 1-loss Georgia doesn't make it as compared to a 0-loss Cincinnati, who just beat up on East Carolina or whatever in the hell,
And another factor is, even though it's early in the season, Indiana and Notre Dame have to be undefeated when they play them. They have to beat them when they're undefeated.
Yeah, that's true too. Yeah.
If either one of them have 1 loss, then it's going to take away.
Yeah, exactly. That win means nothing.
or even maybe at the end of the season. So if they beat Notre Dame and Indiana, and then both of those teams just give up on their seasons after that and end up going, let's say 7-5, right?
Yeah.
If they do that, then yeah, that's going to hurt Cincinnati too. So a lot of factors have to come together for Cincinnati to get in the playoffs this year, unfortunately.
It's almost like the first 4 in and the first 4 out for basketball. I mean, like, you realistically need the teams that you beat to play well to look better on you.
That's kind of the weird thing about college football, I think, is because it's not only subjective to like when you beat them, it's how they finish. So I think that's interesting as well with the college football playoff.
They could be screwed early because if Ohio State plays Indiana before, whoever we were just talking about,
Cincinnati
plays them, then Cincinnati's screwed already.
Yeah, that's very true.
Do they play each other?
Cincinnati
Ohio
and
State and Indiana?
They have the past.
They get a rematch.
I know that they're in the same conference, but I don't know if they're in the same division.
I don't think they are.
I feel like I read that they did.
And maybe they are. I don't know. I'm legitimately asking.
Yeah,
I think that's one of those things that they play every year.
They do play this year, so I think they are in the same division now. I think they restructured it a little bit when Maryland came in, so there's a few different than what I'm used to seeing. Yeah, so that's your top 25. Another one I would say probably is Indiana. Obviously, their season, they could eat. I think if you win the Big Ten, you're in no matter what, right? Are we all on the same page on that?
I mean, as long as you have 1-2 losses, a 3-loss Big Ten champ probably won't get in over a maybe 2-loss SEC team.
Of course, yeah, no. But as far as like, if you're a 1-loss Indiana, and let's say, yeah, that's what I agree to. So yeah, I think that's going to be interesting to see. SEC teams. Well, two SEC teams getting in a 4-team playoff is pretty crazy. So
it happened every year. Hasn't it?
Who gets in? A 1-loss Oregon Pac-12 champ, or the Big 12 champ with no losses? Like Oklahoma goes undefeated, Oregon wins the Pac-12 1-loss.
Oklahoma will get in.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I think that'll be a debate. Like, that'll be something. Like, if those are the last 2 teams deciding on who gets in, that would be nice. I would love to hear that debate. Like, Ohio State goes undefeated, Clemson goes undefeated, Alabama goes undefeated, and it's a debate between those 2.
Well, the first year of the playoff, I think it was when TCU, I think they won the Big 12.
And they didn't get in? They
didn't get in. They got Oregon got in over them, actually. I think it was the year that Oregon, they lost to Florida State, maybe?
They did, yeah.
Yeah, it was like Florida State, Oregon, Alabama, and Ohio State, I think was the first year of the playoffs. And yeah, TCU won the Big 12 and Oregon got in over them. And that was like
Michigan State, I think, has made a playoff, haven't they?
Michigan State?
Yeah, did they?
Yeah, Alabama clapped them.
Yes.
It was the first college football playoff game ever. Alabama destroyed them. And then I'm pretty sure Ohio State beat whoever else, Oklahoma or whoever, or Ohio State won and then Ohio State defeated Alabama for the first playoff championship.
It doesn't feel like that long ago, but I guess it kind of is now.
You're talking about Ezekiel Elliott.
Yeah, that's 5 years at least.
Jameis Winston. You're talking about like some guys that have been in the league for a few years now. They were playing on those teams.
Yeah, pretty crazy. Doesn't seem like it's been that long since it started.
Yeah, Marcus Mariota has done. Got drafted, got fired, went to another team, and he was on
for 2 years.
Yeah.
It's like those memes that are like Calvin Johnson got drafted, played a Hall of Fame career, got inducted in the Hall of Fame before Tom Brady has retired. Like, it's those kind of memes.
Calvin Johnson was drafted in Tom Brady's 7th NFL pro season. and then retired by his 22nd. Or got, inducted in the Hall of Fame on his 22nd season.
Tom Brady is unreal.
I don't believe he's human.
When
and
he
if
eventually
not human, they should take away every one of those Super Bowls from the Patriots because that's not fair.
I mean, as far as like unreal, like I feel like we kind of almost take Tom Brady for granted. Like to play 23 years at this, right? 23 years? His Jordan year? I think so.
A lot. Something.
Yeah.
It's right there at it.
To play 20 plus years in the NFL is insane. But to be
Especially as quarterback.
To be a 7-time Super Bowl champion, I think we almost take that for granted. Like that is crazy.
He's been to 10.
Yeah, I know that Lee's a little bit older than Kyle, and Kyle's a little bit older than me. And Justin, I think you're a little bit younger than me, right?
I'm the youngest, yeah.
Okay, so how old are you, Justin?
I'm 27.
Okay, so when you were 4, Tom Brady started his NFL career.
Yeah.
You still shitting your britches, and he was in the league, and he's still in the league.
Well, I stopped that at age 3, but, you know, hey, close enough.
Lie.
I remember the hit that put Tom Brady on the field.
Yeah, Bledsoe was smacked that day.
Man,
Drew
Bledsoe
in the Cowboys organization for a couple years too.
We talk about Tyrod Taylor as like the most unlucky quarterback of all time. I think Drew Bledsoe has a legitimate claim to that title, though.
There's another guy that's making his way into that group. It's Josh Rosen, who got released today. Every team he goes to drafts a quarterback in the top 5 in the next round or the next draft. So he's another guy that's kind of sliding into that bad luck group, even though he's obviously not that good.
I'll throw this out because I said it. I did say it. I said Josh Rosen was going to be the best quarterback in that class. And I could not be more wrong at this point.
Who? It was Darnold, Lamar Jackson, Baker, Josh, and was there a fifth?
Josh.
Was it
Allen.
Josh Allen?
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow.
What could have been?
All 4 of those guys are still starters in the NFL.
Except for yeah.
The 4 guys picked around him. I think Lamar was the only one after him. I think Josh Rosen was the last one of that like top 4 group.
No, I didn't Allen go like 15 to Buffalo?
Yes, I think
and
so.
Rosen
Yes.
went like 11 or 12.
Well, I thought Allen
Rosen went to the Cardinals initially.
Yeah, I thought Allen was a higher draft pick than that.
No, because the Bills had just went to the playoffs with Tyrod Taylor, and they moved up to go get him. I'm pretty sure about that.
I know Lamar Jackson was like the last pick of the first.
Lamar
round.
was the last. I do know that.
Yeah, Lamar was the first pick of the last pick of the first round. So it goes Baker at 1, Sam Darnold at 3, Josh Allen at 7, Josh Rosen at 10, and then Lamar Jackson at 32.
I think you're right about Buffalo trading. I think they just traded the 15th pick and got up to number 7. I think
Maybe
that's what
it was. Maybe that's what.
Probably the 15th pick is the Raiders. It seems like they would be a number 7 pick.
Forever.
Oh, no, they had another pick at number 16. That's what it is. So they had 2 picks in the first round.
That's what's off. My bad.
Ooh, Vita Vea was that same draft. I didn't realize that he was that long ago.
And I'm pretty sure TJ Watt was that draft.
He was. TJ Watt.
Because Dallas drafted a kid by the name of Taco Charlton instead of TJ Watt. And I want to throw my remote at the fucking TV.
I take that back. It doesn't look like he was that same draft.
Anyway.
But yeah,
Taco Charlton.
I remember Taco Charlton coming out of Michigan. Yeah. You guys took Leighton Vander Esch that year at 19.
That was
If
a great.
he stay healthy, he'd be good.
Yeah, for sure. I like Vander Esch.
Did you guys? No, wait. You guys didn't watch Hard Knocks. Never mind. So
time to do that, but I'm going to watch it.
Okay, so there is no. I just want to say real quick before I forget. There may be a YouTube channel that is posting all the full episodes of Hard Knocks, and they have not been taken down yet. So, if you were to find that YouTube channel, you might not have to pay for HBO Max, which is $15 a month. So, I watch it on HBO Max just because I pay for it, so might as well. But
I bought HBO Max simply because I wanted to see Zack Snyder's Justice League, which was worth the $15, by the way, to anybody out there that's a movie person.
What is that about?
Well, I'll tell you in just a minute. But besides that, I saw that Hard Knocks was on HBO Max. I turned it on, and it was just Dak Prescott talking for the first minute, and I turned it back off.
What?
Yeah, I'm out. I don't care. I wanted to see somebody hit somebody. Now, very quickly,
he broke his ankle in the first 2 minutes.
I don't care. I can break my leg off right now. Nobody wants to hear me complain about it. And you know that's the truth. Now, real quickly about the movie, Zack Snyder's Justice League, it's the director's cut, was just his version of the movie, which is twice as long as the theatrical production of the movie.
It's like 6 hours, isn't it?
4 hours and 18 minutes.
Goddamn.
But if you have 4 hours to devote to a movie, it makes the movie so much easier to understand. It is 10 times better. I'm a huge Justice League guy. Zack Snyder, that first movie, I was pissed off because he was awful. That movie was awful. The director's cut is much better. It's much better. If you get the time to watch it, it's worth watching.
Hard Knocks, though, the reason I brought it up, though, is because Micah Parsons and Leighton Vander Esch were talking to each other on the sideline, and I thought it was a really cool conversation. Basically, they pulled Micah recovered that fumble, and I think after that, they pulled Micah from the game. It was either that or maybe a few plays later that they pulled him out of the game, and he got a call from Dan Quinn, and Dan Quinn's like, hey, great job today, but we're taking you out. And Micah's like, I just want one more. Can I just get one more? And they're like, no more this week. Like next week you'll play more, but this week we're pulling you out. And so he goes over to the bench and he's talking to Leighton Vander Esch, and he's like, man, I just wanted one more, just one more. And then Leighton Vander Esch is sitting on the bench. And he's like, you'll have plenty of football this season. Like basically like, hey, like this doesn't matter right now. Just accept it for what it is. Like a really cool, like, I always think it's interesting to see the NFL veterans talk to the NFL rookies, because you assume that the NFL and college football and everything else is the same, but it's really not, because the NFL becomes a business at that point. And Leighton Vander Esch being like, look, just go out there. The regular season's all that matters. Like, you can go out there in the preseason, you can ball out, but if you break your leg, you miss the whole regular season, guess what? It doesn't matter. None of what you did in preseason matters. So I really thought that was a cool conversation. And I kind of liked Leighton Vander Esch after that. And I'm really excited. I think the new episode comes out tonight. So I'll be watching that.
Hopefully with drafting Micah Parsons and a couple other versatile linebackers, that Vander Esch can stick to what he's good at and tackling people.
Another did you guys watch the Malice on the Palace documentary on Netflix? Oh my God.
But I've been told I need to watch it.
Yes. Oh my God. It is so good. Like, apparently it's going to be a 5-part series. Like, there's going to be 5 episodes, not of Malice at the Palace, but there's 4 more, like, with their own stories. I'm very excited, because the Malice at the Palace one was very good. It's only an hour long too, so I definitely recommend it.
Well, and there's so much stuff that happened that night that people don't understand. All they remember is ESPN that night showing Ron Artest jump into the stands. What people don't realize is it was in Detroit. No, all the season ticket holders had left the game already. The drunkards from the top of the stands had come down to the bottom of the bottom of the court. They were throwing beer at the players. There were 3 police officers that were in charge of the entire stadium that night. They were asking for trouble. There's a lot that went on that night, and I know it is a cool story. I need to watch it.
Yeah, definitely, because they go over that specifically. They interview the guy that Ron Artest punched, I believe.
The one that he stood up with, like squared up with.
Yeah, the guy they squared up with. They interview him, and he's a piece of shit. He's still blaming Ron Artest, bro. You walked on the court and squared up with Ron Artest, like whether or not you. Maybe you accidentally ended up on the court. Let's say I'll give you that benefit of the doubt. You don't just walk up to Ron Artest and he had it down here. He was like this. He didn't have it high, but he had it low, and he was ready to punch. Ron Artest just knocked him out real quick. So, yeah. And also they go through Jermaine O'Neal, who came with a fucking Superman punch. Yeah. They said that if he doesn't slip and he connects on that punch, the guy's probably dead. Because but they interview Ron Artest, Jermaine O'Neal, Steven Jackson, I think it was the chief of police, or at least the detective that handled the case of the Auburn Hills Police Department, the fan. I think they interviewed another police officer. Like, it was all really good. Definitely should watch it. It's only an hour long. I just got blazed one night and watched it right before I went to sleep. So
here's the funny thing about that. The person that told me I needed to watch it was also a bartender. His name's Deontay. He's my buddy from Applebee's. And he said the same exact thing. He said the guy that they interviewed is a piece of shit.
Oh, he's a stooge.
Yeah, now I'm being told by bartenders who I trust more than anybody else on this planet, by the way. I'm being told by 2 bartenders that I need to watch this, and I'm going to watch it now. Not now, but I will watch it sometime soon.
It kind of goes over, because after that, I think, after that incident, Jermaine O'Neal, Reggie Miller, that was Reggie Miller's last year, and that's the other guy they interviewed, Reggie Miller. So Reggie Miller's in it also, and I love Reggie. Yeah, I love Reggie Miller, dude. I did not realize that he played 18 years in the NBA. I did not realize.
I will say, if Ben Wallace don't take that foul that serious as he did, because it wasn't that hard of a foul. He kind of instigated that foul big time.
Yeah. They interviewed him too.
Yeah, if he wouldn't have took that so seriously, I don't even think it would have escalated that far.
That's true, but the players, the guy that executed the foul on him didn't even want to do it. There's so much more. I mean, nobody wanted to foul Ben that hard. Nobody wanted any of this to happen. It's the one stooge that throws a beer, and they shouldn't even have been that close. There's so much more going on, man. It's such a wild story.
Yeah, and I don't want to give too much away about the documentary because I do legitimately want you guys to watch it. But they don't interview the guy that threw the beer, but there are interviews, I guess, with him that they kind of show. Yeah, I think it was on 60 Minutes or one of those shows like that. But the police of chief, or the detective from Auburn Hills, it was his neighbor. So they didn't even. Yeah, so that chief of police knows him, and so it was kind of interesting to almost get that first person perspective, and the chief of police, very cool, or detective, whatever he is. He was a really cool guy to have in that documentary. Definitely should watch it. Probably one of
what's it on? What streaming platform?
Netflix.
Cool.
Yeah, super easy watch too. It goes by quick because you're super invested in it. NBA trades. So this guy, I need you guys to explain this to me because I was trying to read it, but I didn't quite understand. So I thought that the Grizzlies traded Eric Bledsoe for Patrick Beverley and some other players, but now Patrick Beverley is on the Timberwolves, right?
The Clippers. No. The Timberwolves. Yeah. We got wait, is that whoever it is? We got Jared Culver and some other rando.
Yes,
yeah, Herman Gomez or whatever. But the Grizzlies traded Valanciunas for Eric Bledsoe and Steven Adams. and then they turned around and traded Eric Bledsoe for Rondo and all them.
And then did they trade Beverly?
And then they traded Beverly.
Yes.
Yep.
I didn't even know about that trade.
You know what's funny? Sorry, I saw it when you texted me to add this to the pod this morning. That's the first time. It was like an hour old at that point, so it just happened today, I believe.
It did. Man, I was really hoping we would keep Pat Beverly and get rid of Rondo, but I mean, I'm good with it because it fits our timeline more. I really like Pat Beverly's defense, though. He's so much fun to watch. He's such a pest, a menace.
I can't stand Patrick Beverly.
I can't either.
That's why you
I've
gotta
always
like
been
him.
Rondo.
He's not.
I mean,
good
I
at
like
defense.
Rondo, but
He's
Rondo
good at
is-
being a prick.
Rondo is 35 years old. He does nothing for us. Absolutely nothing. Get rid of him. Trade him back to the Lakers for a first-round pick.
I wouldn't be surprised if he goes back to the Lakers.
I wouldn't either. But we have like 17 players right now, so we got to get rid of 2 at some point somehow.
Patrick Beverly's 33, so I mean, yeah, you're not getting a whole lot much difference there as far as age.
Yeah.
I don't know about their.
Was like 22, 23 or something like that.
I do like Jared Culver. Want to talk about defense? That guy plays good defense.
Man, he at Texas Tech he was pretty good, and then I looked up at his stats today, and he didn't play a whole lot the last his rookie season. He played quite a bit, and then last year he played like half a season or something. But I also read that he did something to like maybe his foot or something. He's going to be out for the season. I don't know if I read it right, but that would really suck. We just traded for an injured player.
Yeah.
Memphis really likes their defensive players.
Yeah, they do apparently.
In a very offensive league, they really like defensive. Not that defense can't win championships in the NBA. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying you would assume that they would go. Maybe it's just because they're a smaller market, though.
Maybe.
I mean, if you tried to get a really big player at Memphis, like I don't even know. Let's just say
Damian Lillard or something.
Yeah, like let's say they tried to buy Damian Lillard, like that would take up a lot of money for them because they're an organization that is not as big as Los Angeles or even Portland.
Yeah, we don't want to pay a luxury tax.
Exactly. Yeah, so that's NBA trades. Anything else NBA news wise?
Now that I can think of off the top of my head.
A week ago, maybe, that the league was investigating Lonzo Ball, his contract, maybe like tampering or something.
Sign and trade like an hour into the deadline or something like that.
Mm-hmm. And then what did we talk about? Dennis Schroeder turning down an $80 million freaking deal.
Yeah, he's going for 5 point out in Boston. I think I mentioned that last week.
Retarded.
So, Lonzo still plays for the Pelicans?
No, he got picked up by the Chicago.
Yeah.
Oh.
4 years, $85 million.
LiAngelo Ball now has a deal.
Oh, does he?
He's been playing pretty well.
Yeah, played really well. I don't remember what team it was on, but he did play really well. Maybe the Hornets.
He plays for the Hornets. He does.
Yeah.
With LaMelo. And that's one thing I'd never thought. You know, I thought LeVar Ball's a pretty douchebag guy, but
he is.
He said all of his sons was going to make the NBA, and they are.
Yeah, it's true.
But
2 of them are a lot better than 1.
Yeah, but they made it. They made it on hard work, not just him talking. Those kids are good at basketball. LeVar Ball's a complete moron, but he did everything he could to kind of blow up his brand. He did a good job. I mean, he's like Donald Trump in that way, that he just says loud, obnoxious shit that nobody really cares for. But any publicity is good publicity.
Like he would beat Michael Jordan 1-on-1 and stupid shit like that. No way.
Yeah.
Hey, of course he doesn't actually think that. Like, there's no way you could convince me that LeVar Ball thinks that he can beat, or LeVar Ball, excuse me, thinks he can beat Michael Jordan 1-on-1. Like, even at 60 years old apiece, like, there's no way.
Not a chance.
I do believe it.
I do find it ironic that Jordan now has 2 of his sons on his team, though.
Derby.
Who was
They're
that?
there for the easy paycheck.
What? Yeah, right. Let's see. Baseball news. What do we got? Brazen first.
Hell yeah, boy.
Sorry,
Yeah,
Lee.
throws a no-hitter in his first career start.
Listen, yeah, hey, Tyler Gilbert, that kid for the Diamondbacks, they haven't done anything all year long. They've been really bad. Good for him. Lee, I'm sorry, you're my friend, but the Mets are awful. They have crapped themselves out of first place. The Braves are in first place without their best pitcher and without their best hitter. I love it. I'm living high right now. This is good for me. Sorry, Lee. Sorry for all you non-Braves fans, but they are playing very good baseball.
The difference between the Braves or pretty much any other NL team is they have a good farm system.
That's
the Mets, they have never had a farm system.
That's
So-
true.
They have the money. They don't have to build a farm. They can just pay everybody.
And then everybody underperforms because they went out and got Lindor, and he ain't done nothing. Baez,
Yeah.
Junior, or whatever, Baez or whatever, the Cubs guy, he's got the highest strikeout rate in baseball. Their
That's
pitchers
why I
are
want
hurt.
Chris Bryant over him, honestly,
Yeah.
because he's either strike out or he's going to hit it 450 feet. That's Javi Baez. But he is a great defensive player, by the way.
Acuna's gone for the year, though, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, I was about to say. So even if
Unless
they
they
make the
make it
playoff,
deep in the postseason, he could come back.
No.
what did he? It was something bad, right? What did he?
Yeah,
have?
towards
Yep.
Yeah, that's right. Okay. I was gonna say I remember it being a pretty severe, and obviously if he's out for the rest of the year, but I thought it was like something I actually knew what had happened. A lot of baseball injuries, I don't know what the fuck they are, like, because I don't see him. You don't see him in football very often. Yeah. So, I mean, Atlanta not having their, are we even if they make the playoffs, we don't expect a deep run, right? I mean, anything can happen in baseball if you get hot, but.
Yeah, and that's the thing. As long as you get to the party, then anything can happen after that. Just look at the Nationals 2 years ago. Nobody really expected much out of them, and they won the World Series because their pitchers got hot, and Howie Kendrick came out of nowhere to hit every clutch home run that they needed. So, I mean, if Freddie Freeman's got his batting average back up to 290, they're getting Inoa back, who was pitching really well earlier in the year. They got Travis d'Arnaud back, the catcher that was hitting really well last year before he got hurt this year and broke his hand. Yeah. But
hit a goddamn lick for us.
That's true. He couldn't stay healthy for you guys either. But
he was a hell of a catcher. He was.
Yeah. But if the Braves get to the playoffs and the pitchers get hot and they start hitting the ball in clutch situations, then anything can happen. I guess that's part of it. You just want to get to the party and hope that you're hot when you get there, and that's kind of what they're hoping for right now.
You see it a lot in baseball. I feel like in the NHL too is a lot of. I mean, I know it happens in football. I know it happens in basketball, but your team getting hot at the right time really can happen more so. I feel like in baseball and NHL. Like I feel like sometimes the puck just goes in the net. Sometimes the ball just comes at you a little slower when you're on the plate. So I think those two sports more so than I would say football, and because football. Maybe it's because you only play once a week.
That's exactly what it is. It's harder to stay in your rhythm. As a baseball player growing up, when I was hitting the ball really well and seeing the ball really well out of the pitcher's hand, it helped me to continue to play. And if I played 3 games in a week where I felt really good, I'd have 3 really good games back to back to back. Whereas football, man, you go out there, you got the pads on for 1 day out of the week, and you better hope you got it that day.
The Giants, who won the wild card 2 years, beat Tom Brady in the Super Bowl both times. They got hot at the right time.
I mean, yeah, it can definitely happen in football. I'm not saying that it never happens, but I feel like, especially NHL and baseball, I feel like it's more likely, I guess you would say.
Yeah.
Impactful, I guess.
Yep.
Because, I mean, that's why the Predators went to the Stanley Cup the year that they did, because they got hot at the right time. You see it in
defense.
Yeah, exactly. And of course, with baseball, obviously it's going to change probably this year a little bit with the substance abuse rules, or not abuse, illegal substance rules. Pitching in baseball, I feel like playoff baseball has all been about your pitchers. If your pitchers play well, then you win the game. Do you think that this year we're going to see more offense in the playoffs?
No, because they use a different ball.
Really?
They use a different ball when they get into the playoffs. They did
Well,
last year.
Really?
Yeah, you can see because you can see different hitters like they'll hit the ball and they feel like it's gone off the bat because that's what they've been used to all year, and it would kind of just die at the warning track. I don't think that's anything that MLB come out and said, but it's the players have said multiple times they feel like the playoffs they use a different ball. That's why it's much more. That's why if you get a guy on base, it's about getting him over, bunt him over, get him in, sack fly, whatever. The way you need to get that guy in. Because pitching is just easier in the playoffs because I believe 100% they use a different ball. The players feel that way, so I take their word for it.
It's all about how they string the ball when they make it. Like the tighter they string it, the farther it flies or something.
Well, yeah, and if they don't tie the strings too hard, then you have raised seams. And for a pitcher, a baseball with raised seams makes it easier to get more revolutions on the ball, more torque on the ball, so you get more movement. And it doesn't matter if you're throwing hard or if you're throwing slow. The more RPMs on the ball, the more it moves, the harder it's hit, or the harder it is to hit. Excuse me. So there's a lot of different ways they can make a baseball, and there's a lot of different ways they can store it. They can store it in a humidifier like they do out in Colorado. It makes the ball fly about 500 foot. But there are different ways that the ball. A lot of the players said they felt like the ball was different last year in the playoffs, and I believe them.
I'll just go ahead and let you guys know this. When we play Blitzball in October, I'm gonna be bringing some Spider Tack with me. Okay, I will buy a bottle of Spider Tack, and that thing's gonna start at first base, and it's gonna end up in the strike zone.
I don't care. I'm going yard off of you. I'm going to hit the ball, and you won't even see it.
I'm not kidding. I really want to do this. By the way, like I'm not joking.
It does look fun.
The fun thing about it though is that home run apparently is outfield, so the whole game is played in the infield. So that kind of makes it fun for me too, because that you don't have to hit it super far, and the ball doesn't go that far when you hit it either. Like apparently,
No,
from what I've seen.
No, it doesn't.
And John Boy said that a lot of times, he said when you couldn't even really see the ball when it was coming at you. So it's like it's hard enough to hit it,
Oh, yeah, it's really hard to hit. But the reason why it doesn't fly very far is because the way the ball is made, whenever it catches wind, it just, however the ball's spinning, it goes that way. It doesn't continue a forward trajectory off of a bat.
So there was a lot of like almost NFL-esque like sideline catches right at the edge of the grass where they had to get 2 feet down. It was pretty cool. I'll send you guys a link so that way you get some of you guys that don't really know too much about it. Maybe
I think I've seen a couple things on Facebook, but it was just like a few snippets.
how much is it? I'm gonna look it up.
I've seen like a few of the pitches. I don't ever watch the batting.
Yeah, the pitches, dude.
Dude,
It starts at first base and comes back over the strike zone. Like
it's
crazy.
pretty crazy. Yeah, the one of the throws that I saw John Boy throw, I swear he threw that thing 20 feet in the air and it came down and hit the top of the strike zone. It was pretty cool. So
I hate to be the bearer of bad news, boys, but I'm about to have to hit it.
Yeah, I'm good with that too. So
let's open these real quick before we go.
Oh yeah, go ahead. So it's $80.
What?
Pokemon fans, some of our subscribers.
$80?
Yeah, for I think it was like 5 balls, a bat, and a strike zone.
No,
we can make our own.
The strike zone is pretty big.
Sorry, you guys were all talking. I didn't get any of that. Casey, let's start with you.
You can find those balls for like $5 a piece. We'll do it on Amazon for like $12.
I would say, yeah, they are cheaper on Amazon. I just the first one was Dick's.
Yeah,
I think it's the net that's more expensive, but these are the cards that came with it.
Oh, nice.
Ooh, well, a shiny there.
Yeah, there's all these ones. That came with the thing,
oh, Snorlax.
Snorlax. All right, gonna make this quick as possible. Which one first? Battle Styles or Darkness Ablaze?
Darkness Ablaze.
All right, that's it.
Now I know what to look for out of the Battle Styles pack, but I don't know what's in the Darkness of the pack.
What's in the battle pass or
Battle Styles is going to be you want the Tyranitar, which is right after the buffet. He's kind of laying on like a mountainside with plates and stuff around him, or any of the Urshifu VMAXs. If you get the Urshifu Z VMAX, that's the card.
I don't. Trainer card.
Ones are good.
I've never
I
even
just
heard of
cared about
some
the
of
last-
these.
Honestly. The fuck is that?
I don't know what any of these Pokemon are. Oh, I know what Grimer is. I know Grimer.
There you go.
We got Reverse Hollow. We got Reverse Hollow.
Is that the oh, here we go. Oh, nice.
Hey!
Where's
Tapu
it?
Koko.
Tapu
Yeah, Tapu
Koko?
Koko.
Koko? It's the actual holographic.
Yeah.
Not reverse. This reverse.
Yep. You're definitely looking for a full art hollow is what you want.
Yes, absolutely.
That's what my Dragonite is that I pulled today. Japanese.
That's pretty cool.
That's a
Dragonite
bad card.
might be my favorite Pokemon besides Charizard.
No, Dragonite is mine. It's my favorite. It's a $150 card on eBay.
My favorite Pokemon is Chikorita.
I always like Charmander.
The most homosexual answer.
People roast me about it all the time. It is a pretty bad Pokemon. I will agree. Hey, Blaziken though is my number 2, and that's a pretty good Pokemon.
Cool. Blaziken is
Okay.
dope. Oh, that's that Mankey.
Ooh, look at Tom. That's my 3rd favorite Pokemon. Heyo.
That it is.
Another reverse hollow.
Yeah. Spupa.
Cutie-Pie.
Ooh, Mr.
Lame.
Mime.
Oh,
Yes.
Mime.
Wait, was that Mr. Mime?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's the Galarian, isn't it?
Yeah.
It says Mr.
What's
Rhyme,
Mr.
yeah.
Rhyme? It's Mr. Rhyme, yeah.
Is there a
He evolved from Mr. Mime now. Mr. Mime used to not have a
Evolve form.
evolution.
So does Mr. Rhyme rhyme? Is that his thing? Like what is Mr. Rhyme?
I don't know. I don't even remember.
No. He's a ball juggler.
Ooh. So
Juggle
I'm
these
in.
balls.
Yeah, I'm in. Yeah.
Sounds
Yes.
like that chick I met on 2nd Avenue that one night in Nashville.
Oh.
Heyo.
So the official Blitzball game pack that comes with the Strike Zone, 2 bats, 4 balls, a base set, and a duffel bag to carry it all. $200. So that's not bad.
Damn.
We don't need we really only need baseballs and a bat and a Strike Zone though.
Yeah.
That's it. I mean, we could all go $20 and get that damn thing.
Oh, I don't care. I'll pay for it. I'm not complaining about that.
Well, people pay for it. I ain't gonna say shit.
Hey, as long as you guys show up, as long as we get the bats cracking out there.
Hey, I'll be there. I'm not the one you have to worry about showing up and doing stuff.
Yeah,
Hey,
definitely Lee.
Kyle will have a baby by then, so we can put the baby at first base.
There you go.
Damn, baby.
Yeah.
Right?
First.
Bagging you out.
Got
He's a
first.
bad boy or something.
Yeah.
Smacking home runs on you. Nice.
Catch-
What's that?
Hey, was that the only
I
2
don't know.
packs you had, Lee, in that box? Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was like
Yeah,
$9 at 8 something at Walmart. I
That's
seen it. I
not
was like,
bad.
that'd be
That's not
cool.
bad
Maybe
at
to
all.
open. No, it ain't. It's actually lower than they was.
Yeah. I mean, because you pay almost $4 for just a pack anyway, and you get all that other stuff in that box.
Exactly.
Well, you guys anything else left for the pod?
No, I've got a Super Bowl in Madden that I have to go play my brother in real quick.
Oh, who are you? The Bengals, right?
Cincinnati Bengals.
Yeah.
Who is he?
Do I?
What team is your brother?
He's the Falcons. He wanted Kyle Pitts.
Okay.
Ooh. How do you think the boys are gonna do in the bowl?
I feel like I'm assuming since I'm about 20 minutes late now that Andy's probably 3 or 4 drinks into the evening. That's my brother. So if I can get him a little lit before halftime, I should be able to win by about 10 points.
Nice.
He was hammered in the last Super Bowl we played, and I beat him like 45-12. So, if I can get a few drinks in him, I hopefully he's not watching. If I can get a few drinks in him, then I've got the win secured.
Real quick.
Do another 30 minutes.
Have you guys Madden 22 came out for a 10-hour trial or something like that? That I played it a little bit. Did you guys play that?
I played the beta. I have not played whatever that trial was.
So if you have EA Play, which is like a $5 subscription, you can get like a lot of their games. Or it might be more than $5. I can't remember, but I subscribe to it, so I got the 22 Madden 22 10-hour trial before it comes out, like in 2 days, and it's the old version of Madden. It's the last gen version, so it plays a lot like Madden 21, but franchise mode, it looks like they added quite a bit. I mean, it is what it is. It's still going to be pretty bad, I'm sure, but
the key part about that is their biggest change will be the scouting overhaul, and that will be implemented in an update in September. So I'm probably going to actually wait until September to get the game because I want the scouting overhaul.
Well, and also like they added offensive and defensive coordinators, I guess.
Yeah, they did that.
But none of them, at least right now, are the legit offensive and defensive coordinators.
I think they will be when the game comes out.
Okay, I was going to say, because right now it was just like randomized names and stuff. So, but yeah, I mean, I'll play a franchise on it. If it's a little deeper than normal, I'm gonna do it because I do it every year.
Well, if it, I know I'll get the game at some point, and then once I get it, me and you can do a friend. Well, I've got PS5. I won't be on the last gen.
Yeah.
So Justin, what are you playing the revamped on? What?
It's my PC.
What's this? PC? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Is that a new game or is that just the old game you got a mod?
Yeah, it's a mod for NCAA 14.
Gotcha.
So they're about to come out with the Mountain West Conference with the updated uniforms and fields and stadiums and all that. So
Nice.
should be fun. They do a really good job. They just announced their cover artist for this year. Their cover athlete is Derek Stingley Jr., I think is his name. The cornerback for LSU.
He's a baller.
Yeah, so
he is.
I think they may have actually paid him too, because they had a hype video with him in it. So I assume they paid him.
That's cool.
Yeah. So good for him. But yeah, it's an update or a mod for NCAA 14. Anything else, guys? Good.
I think that's it, fellas.
Yeah.
All right, guys. I'll see you next week. We enjoyed it. If you did, please like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe. Damn it.
We upload we go live every Tuesday at 6 o'clock Eastern, 5 o'clock Central. So look out for us there, and we'll see you guys